Welcome to a super duper exciting edition of Inside Media Weekly. I'm Ryan Boni. And yet again on today's panel, we have Kevin Bastos.
Yet again. I love that intro. Yet again. No ominous there. I'm cleaning my glasses. Because
they all right?
Apparently, I don't know. Maybe I was, making some weird food today.
You're going to want to see what's on the show today.
I can't see anyway. Yes!
Justin Pinto. Sci Learner runner-up.
Yes.
Year 2000.
I'm here. Year 2000, I believe. I'm not sure if it goes like calendar year, 99, 2000. Not sure.
I think,
I'm going to put a shout out to our fans again.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I went to the soccer game this week and they asked again, so no show this week? I said, well, we had a show. I just didn't post it. They were all disappointed. So hello again, Mr. and Mrs.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
They were requesting information. Just saying.
So it's a grassroots movement here. We're really spreading our wings with the fans.
Right. That's right.
Speaking of spreading wings,
we have no birds.
There's no otters. There's no birds. We should put the Hayes, the bald eagle cam up. Wasn't there a fight or something?
Why don't we get a bald eagle cam at Canonsburg Lake? We can track him or her. I don't know if it's a him or her. I don't know.
Have you seen those?
I have seen one there.
They're very cool.
Big bird. Not yellow.
Different though. Different.
Yes.
Than that one.
It is a big bird, not the.
Speaking of big bird, hedgehogs.
That was a terrible transition.
I was like, there's something about the.
All right. Yes, Sonic the Hedgehog, which would have been one of those movies that we might have said 10 or 15 years too late.
I believe we were predicting Bomb.
It made as much money as like the next 5 movies combined over the 4-day weekend.
That's impressive.
So I have lots of charts to show you today on this show, this edition.
On tiny screens.
Okay,
we'll share this one.
So this is,
I believe it is a 4x6 screen, maybe a 5x7.
Nothing happened.
Looks better than a 4x6 index card, I think.
Yeah, but I don't think it's quite 5x7.
Nothing's happening.
Well,
so
the aspect ratio could be 5
maybe
1/4.
The entire screen is 5x7,
Yeah.
but the viewable scape is less than that.
I don't know. We'll have to measure.
Okay, let's see.
So this is the President's Day 4-day weekend totals.
They keep going into.
So we got 70 million. I was gonna say $70,000. 70 million.
I would have said 70,000 would have been my guess over 70 million.
4,000 theaters.
There,
$16,000 per theater average.
I gotta say, there are more theaters running Birds of Prey right now than Sonic the Hedgehog. So the industry was not behind this one either. And and Birds of Prey, kind of a flop.
In some ways.
Well, yes, but kind of disappointing and still in more theaters than the brand new film Sonic the Hedgehog. I know, but I'm saying brand new movie versus second week of a kind of disappointment.
I did read it. I only looked at the 3-day. I didn't look at the 4-day.
Oh, well,
over the 3-day, it's okay. It's okay.
Oh.
In the 3 days
Charts.
the Sonic was out, it has made more money than the whole time Birds of Prey has been out for 2 weeks.
This one into.
Holy frijoles.
So
it's
here,
total gross.
and we.
No, according to this one, it's a little off. 59 versus 58.
Well, okay, so it was really, really close.
Very close, but still.
Who had that one?
No one. No one.
So highest grossing.
Climb.
Yeah, so
That doesn't actually look at that. It didn't make 58 million exactly.
It's an estimate.
Yes, it's gonna
These
have
were
to.
the estimated, yeah.
Oh.
They're still counting all that cash, Sonic is.
Because you got the President's Day holiday in there, they're going to count in the Monday.
Not all the counters are coming in on President's Day.
And that's, of course, what made Birds of Prey fall. I'm sorry, and it's renamed, right? They renamed the
Birds of Prey.
They renamed
And
it to Birds
Harley
of Prey.
Quinn,
Harley
Birds
Quinn,
of
Birds of Prey. Well, that's all gone.
That's all gone.
Oh, sorry.
That's technically not part of the title any longer.
Sorry, good joke.
That's the amazing part of digital releases. I guess you could just change the name of the movie.
That is interesting.
But what's crazy is, we typically talk about 50% drop week to week is average. But on a holiday weekend, when you get 4 days and you've got people that, might be off school or whatever, typically you don't see those kind of drops. But, yeah, not do so well. Fantasy Island came in at 12, the horror remake of Fantasy Island.
I'm surprised it made $12 million.
With the photograph.
Talk about late.
Bad Boy.
That plane has gone.
Fantasy Island?
Uh-huh.
What came out like 45 years ago?
And wait a minute. There was, remember, the revitalization a few years ago, which also kind of bombed on
Well,
TV.
no one pays attention to that anymore. I think that is far. Can you even find it?
I
It might
don't
have been scrubbed from
I
existence.
watched it when it was on.
Can you prove it exists?
I may
Do we have it anywhere?
I may still have the VHS tapes that we recorded it on somewhere in my... Now, I don't have a player to play them, but still.
So who would have thought Ricardo Montalban's version would that would be the top of the mountain, nowhere to go but down from that point on.
Probably Ricardo.
Most people in the 70s, yes.
Ricardo probably thought it'd be the peak.
It was like number
version.
not number one, but like top 5 or 10 TV shows for.
It was
a
with
year
Back
or
when
two.
TV
Love
shows were
Boats.
actually like big.
TV shows are big again.
Are they? Are they getting good viewings? Like high ratings?
Well, it's...
Is it all relative?
everything's relative now. On streaming, nothing exactly gets anything high anymore, but people are interested in it. This is a golden age of TV again. There's great TV out.
There's great TV, but just no one watches it on like broadcast radio,
No,
television.
broadcast, nobody cares anymore.
Well, that's my point. So it's like,
DVR, watch it afterward. Netflix, stream it. I mean, The Office is bigger now than it was when it aired.
in some ways. I mean, well, maybe. I don't know.
I would say it is.
I don't know how. I never watched it, so
You haven't even watched it now?
I've watched some of it, but
It's great TV.
I know what I've watched. I've really enjoyed. It's
Great.
just I get sidetracked easily.
I understand, me too. Yeah, a lot like Doug.
And look at Bad Boys for Life, hanging in there, $11.4 million.
That is not much
a
less
4.7% drop
than
from
Fantasy
last
Island.
1917.
No, it's not.
And of course, we have the Oscar bumps. 1917 didn't fall very far, $8 million.
Parasite went up.
of course, being Best Picture winner, now added almost 1,000 theaters.
Jumanji with its massive drop.
Jumanji with a
Boy, oh boy.
0.8% drop.
And still earned $5 million.
Can you believe-
That's impressive.
And so,
Go Rock.
what's amazing is not only that it's still earning $5 million in week 10,
Great.
there was an article we're going to get to in a second that is kind of amazed that Rise of Skywalker has fallen out of the top 10 before Jumanji. The next level falls out of the top 10. So that's pretty impressive. We keep making fun of
The amount of
Doolittle,
money,
but
though.
Doolittle's hanging in there, another almost $5 million.
Remember, it's still $100 million from its budget.
And downhill.
Domestically,
Right. But even if you put those two together, it'd still be $30 million.
Birds of Prey is compared to its budget is made over double, I think, globally, or almost
Oh,
double
that's
globally.
good.
It's only Birds of Prey only cost $75 million to make.
Maybe not a bad investment then.
Well, how about this?
Mm-hmm.
Birds of Prey cost 75 production budget. Sonic the Hedgehog, 90 million. Would you have put those numbers there? Would you have said Sonic cost more to make?
Yeah, because of the CG, and Jim Carrey is a bigger name. Even now.
Still? I was just saying.
Even now.
Jim Carrey's a bigger name than Margot Robbie?
I think so. What would be the salary you think Jim Carrey got paid for Sonic
I have no idea.
versus what Margot Robbie got paid?
I would have had to have. I mean, I guess that if you pulled Jim Carrey out of semi-retirement to be in Sonic, it was probably a Brinks truck.
Right. I would guess $20
So-
million. I would guess he got paid $20 million for that.
And who else is in that movie?
And Margot was more like 18 or 15.
Well, could she really gotten that much? Well, I guess you're talking about 20 out of 90. Who was the other big name in Sonic the Hedgehog? Is it that guy who played Cyclops one time? Wasn't he an iteration? Was that him? Who's the other star?
Who's the other star?
Sorry,
I don't know.
I was looking up Jim
Sonic
Carrey's
the
salary
Hedgehog.
here.
Oh, geez, sorry.
Inquiring minds want to know.
I do like that it's the biggest opening of a video
Talking
game
Ben Schwartz,
movie.
James Marsden, Jim
Marsden,
Carrey,
James
and
Marsden.
Tika Sumpter.
Wasn't he?
James Marsden.
Was James Marsden? Was he a Cyclops?
I don't know if he was a Cyclops or
Was
that's
he
the
in-
other guy
was
that
he in
looks like
X-Men?
him. He was Wonder Woman or something. I don't know. He was in one of those.
Chris Pine was in Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Chris Pine. Those are the two I get mixed up back and forth all the time.
has to
Marsden
be-
might have been X-Men. Cyclops.
They're not mentioning Jim Carrey's salary.
What? Who isn't?
The internet.
No,
It's a
I bet
secret.
it's out there
Interwebs.
somewhere.
I've been looking.
Okay.
So
What if he was wise and took a percentage of the profits from Sonic?
Listen, if he took a percentage, if he took a percentage of the profits, that man's brilliant. Because I don't think I would have taken a percentage of the profits on that one.
We'll give you an extra million or a percent of the profits.
I know, tough. That would have been tough.
So we've had two movies based upon video games that have broken the opening weekend that was held for almost 20 years by Lara Croft Tomb Raider. So back in May, Pokemon Detective Pikachu had a $54 million opening weekend.
Who could
Sonic
forget Detective Pikachu?
the Hedgehog, $58 million. Still pretty incredible.
Now, one of the most interesting things on there, number 2, Pokemon Detective Pikachu, and number 10 is also Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Just an FYI.
Well, maybe it's the second week.
It is
made
the second
25
week.
million.
I'm just saying.
I'm sorry. Yes, this was weekends. Yeah.
This is the top.
And don't forget,
weekends.
in 1999, Pokemon, the first movie,
Where's that?
number 6.
Dagnabbit. Pokemon the first movie.
I don't remember Pokemon the second. But I could be mistaken. I was not
Direct-to-video sequel.
I was not a Pokemon fan, really. And still I'm not a true Pokemon fan.
I'm.
Despite the Pokemon Go app.
I understand. Do you have?
I do. I've played Pokemon Go frequently.
I have not.
It's fun.
I'm sure.
My daughter likes it. She now has waned, and now I'm like, oh, we didn't catch them all yet. We got to keep. Come on,
kids'
now.
interest. Once you get me in there, I'm like, catch them all.
Yes.
Get them all.
Let's go.
Every one of them. And kids are like,
Well, that was fun for about a week and a half.
So Mr. Pinto goes out and it's still going.
I think number 4 is pretty amazing on this list. Angry Birds movie. Since it was not although
Rampage, the flop that it was with The Rock.
Listen, I did not despise that movie.
I think it made like 400 million globally.
I've seen way worse movies than Rampage. Oh yeah. Way worse.
Maybe some have won Best Picture.
Oh yes, a couple of them.
So there you
2
go.
or 3.
So maybe Rampage really should have been nominated, and that's the travesty of all the last couple of years.
Oh man.
What's amazing with Rampage, though, is if you go to the worldwide box office. So Warcraft is the all-time highest grossing, $439 million.
That flopped in the United States,
which,
didn't it?
Yeah, which made half of its money in China alone. Detective Pikachu number 2, and Rampage was third.
Wow,
and
that is terrible.
it's pretty crazy to see that already Sonic the Hedgehog is right here at 113 million over the entirety of it. So Sega's doing all right.
I think I'm old.
They're,
I think I'm
I mean,
done.
it looked so bad. But I
Which
thought
one?
Aquaman looked terrible. In fairness, I thought Aquaman looked terrible, and I loved it. So maybe Sonic is like the same.
Grown. Ugh. Yes, you did think Aquaman looked terrible.
rounding out the top 10 in worldwide, we got Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time, Resident Evil: The Final Chapter, Resident Evil: Afterlife, Lara Croft:
Which
Tomb
one was
Raider,
first?
Tomb Raider, Assassin's Creed. I forgot how many
Creed.
number we're up to. Resident Evil:
Wow.
Retribution, Need for Speed.
What was that?
I can't even remember that they made a Need for Speed movie.
I had no
They
idea.
made $203 million. Walt Disney Studios. Look at that.
The things you learn on Inside Media Weekly.
Wow. Wow.
Speaking of WoW, actually we already hit on this story briefly, but Parasite had a huge box office boost following its historic Oscars win, as they call it. As we mentioned, it just made another $8 million.
Now, how did you view this? Did you rent it, the digital online or something? Or did you go to the theater?
I purchased the Blu-ray the day it came out, and then that week, and then actually I watched it online through the digital copy of it.
I did not know it was even available already.
Surprise.
It's
Can
out
I
on.
borrow that from you
It's on
sometime?
sure.
I would like to watch that.
Yeah. I certainly felt like Parasite, I think was a worthy.
I know you really liked it.
And Jojo Rabbit certainly was also a very good. I think Parasite's will hold up well. Years down the road, I don't think it's gonna be one of those ones where you're like, "Wow, that was a terrible, terrible choice for it." But we'll have to see how that goes. A scary story. So,
Pinto does not like scary movies.
I do not like Gary.
Oh, I didn't even do the ranked. I skipped. Sorry. Well, I think we're done with video game. Thanks. Hold on. So, I just like this headline. Lilo and Stitch's original director has a big concern for live-action remake.
I think all of us do.
And I think we all do, although his concern, there was multiple concerns. He was obviously, as we all are, scared to death of what Stitch is going to look like in real, in some sort of
That's
live
not my
action.
fear.
Oh, that's not your fear?
No. My fear is how many of these dad blasting things can they
Oh,
make?
that.
All of
That's
them.
my fear. There was something else that was just announced too. I was like, oh, geez, stop.
But obviously they have a concern. Stitch is kind of a monster, and how do you make that sort of realistic without, going a little crazy?
Hello, Sonic the Hedgehog producers.
And he, it's true. He's kind of a cute little thing, though, right?
Sonic?
Sonic the Hedgehog 2
Sonic.
with Tails is coming now. Now you know we're getting a
really?
He's
sequel.
mischievous.
Well,
but he's
the first iteration, when they first did the promo stuff on the CG and everyone freaked out,
True.
that's the people they want to contact for Stitch people.
And then I didn't think about this. The director was concerned about Lilo because I didn't even think about the fact Lilo has a really, really large mouth in the cartoon, which they said in 2D animation, hand-drawn cells looks good, but they're concerned about how that would, if they tried to match.
I don't think they will they?
I don't know. These are the questions.
This director's had a lot of
very large mouth.
This director has had a lot of time to think about why live action might be bad. We drew some things that are not really realistic, and when you try to make them realistic, they could look bad.
They're called cartoons.
If you try to make everything from the cartoon in real life, you might have trouble. Yes, well, I do think the alien monster could be bad. Yeah, true.
I think this show's just this may be our best episode yet.
Speaking of scary,
no.
so just so you're keeping track, so Disney's Planet of the Apes movie is going to be a full-blown reboot. Now we've rebooted Planet of the Apes at least 2 times, right? Maybe has it been?
Well, I mean, doesn't
Yes.
There's been the offshoots. Well, there was
The first one. Who was the director of the first set?
You mean the old 60 ones?
No, the 60 ones,
The
60s ones.
Charlton Heston
Charlton Heston. That's the first iteration, like the 7.
But it kind of
movie ones.
reboots itself
Right.
within the movies.
Right, but-
Like, it takes you around full circle.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the other one. There was one
Have we
other one
rebooted
done.
since we've come back?
Oh yeah, because there was another one done like around 2000 or
There was one
late
done like
90s.
in 2001, I think.
And then there was another set done with this guy, the guy from
Mark Wahlberg?
No. The Mark Wahlberg one was a version, and then there was another one done with the guy from Lord of the Rings.
Andy Serkis?
Yeah, Andy Serkis did the lead character, the lead ape, in that. But the Mark Wahlberg version was the middle set. Who directed that version?
which one are you on? The second.
Mark Wahlberg.
The
version.
Well, Mark Wahlberg was like in the second movie because there was like a movie without Mark Wahlberg. Then they brought Wahlberg in, didn't they? Was
No.
Wahlberg in the one and two when it first came back out of nowhere from like a 30-year hiatus?
This is like internet conversations.
So the 2001 Planet of the Apes was Tim Burton.
Thank you.
Was Mark Wahlberg
Mark Wahlberg was it?
There you go.
As
There was
Astronaut
no
Idiots.
sequel done to that one. It
Right.
was just a standaloner. And then they rebooted it with the circus version, and Andy Serkis was pretty much the only character who kept coming back. Like the first version was what was his name? The first one was really good.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that Rise of the Planet of the Apes has nothing to do with 2001?
No.
Planet of the Apes.
No.
So
Is nothing matter anymore?
No.
in case you're keeping track at home, so the original film series had 5 movies: Planet of the Apes, Beneath the Planet of the Apes, Escape from the Planet of the Apes, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, and Battle for the Planet of the Apes. From
Planet of the
68,
Apes, terrible, terrible, terrible.
No.
68 to 73. Then there was the TV series.
Yes, I have that on DVD.
Is that related to the...
I have no idea. I never
All right.
watched it.
And then there's the animated. There was
But I
an
own it.
animated series.
I don't think I sold it. I think I kept that.
All right.
Then you had the 2001 Planet of the Apes, which is, standalone movie on its own. Then the reboot has 3 movies: Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and War for the Planet of the
They were
Apes.
good.
And then this is now the 3rd reboot of the original series. So what counts that?
It's getting confusing. Have you ever watched the original Planet of the Apes?
No.
Did you watch the first one?
No.
It's good for a movie. I mean, it's dated, obviously. Sure. The action scenes back in the day were they're walking. We're panning with them. Music is
like
playing.
2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yes.
Everyone's like, "That's a great movie," and you sit down, and you're like, "Oh, it's a really long."
Watch Planet of the
movie.
Apes, and you're like, "Okay, I can appreciate it. Let's watch the next one." And you're like, "Okay." Third one, fourth one, oh my gosh. Fifth one, you're hating it until the end, and you're like, "We need to watch them all right now." It is very, very well done.
Okay.
As it turns out.
Deep.
I mean, it's Planet of the Apes. How deep can it really? But yes, it is good. And they get shorter. Like the last one's like 67 minutes long.
Oh,
They just keep
Not so
getting
bad.
shorter and shorter.
That's fantastic.
Yes. Do you have a? It's like barely longer than a sitcom. You know?
no, that's longer than a sitcom. Sitcoms are 30 minutes.
Well, it's like 2.
It's like barely longer than 2 sitcoms. Is a lot longer than a sitcom.
No.
Twice as long plus 7 minutes is a lot longer.
Percentage-wise, sure.
Plus
but when you're
commercial
watching
breaks,
it,
it's like 3 episodes of a
If
sitcom.
only we had a math teacher on the show that could verify the
Jeez.
numbers for us.
Oh, hello, I wonder who that is.
Hey.
I will agree with
One
Mr.
of our
Bastos'
fans?
math.
Okay.
It is true.
But
But it's going to go by so fast. You're going to feel like you watched a sitcom. The time will go
Right.
by so quickly.
Speaking of the time going by quickly,
We're almost out, I bet.
well, no, we still have a little bit of time.
Oh.
Before we get to the end, though, good news. Kirstie Alley and John Travolta both said we'd be up for doing the Look Who's Talking reboot. Apparently Kirstie Alley was on a talk show and said she's already talked to John Travolta. They both were like, this would be fun. We'd do this. We'll do it again.
They gonna get Roseanne again?
She was in the second one.
I know.
Bruce Willis was in the first
Did you know Bruce Willis was in the first and second one?
Yes.
The end of the first one, the voice was Joan Rivers.
I don't remember that.
Oh, I don't recall that.
Yep. And then
saw
they
the
recast
second
her as Roseanne in the second one.
Huh.
There might have been a third one.
There's the third Look Who's Talking. True. I don't remember what it's called.
Maybe none of them were in it.
I don't think Bruce is in it. I don't think.
Look Who's Talking Now was the third one.
Wow.
That had a
Inside movies
Almost
from the
as good
80s.
as Baby Geniuses 2.
So
Did you ever watch A Baby Geniuses?
no.
So bad. So very bad.
I'm going to not watch that.
Good.
John Travolta and Kirstie Alley are in the third one. But
Wow. Bruce Willis is
Bruce
not.
Willis is not.
Shocking.
They replaced them with Danny DeVito and Diane Keaton.
I was going to say Danny DeVito for some reason, but that's just more of like a.
Diane Keaton.
But those are for the newly acquired dogs, Rox and Daphne. Focuses more on their lives than on. So
Yes.
now the movie's not the movie producers have not said, "Hey, we're interested in this." It's just Kirstie Alley and John Travolta said, "We're up for it."
Kirstie
We're
Alley
ready
and
to go.
John Travolta really are not doing well right now.
They're ready for whatever comes their way.
We'd also be interested in a Staying Alive 3.
Was there a Staying Alive 2 that I missed?
There was...
Was it?
Staying Alive was the sequel to Saturday
Night
Night
Fever.
Fever, and it was terrible.
So we have to call it something. We have to have like a
Yes.
different name.
A different Bee
But
Gees
in
song
parentheses, the third one, so people know. Is that related to them? Oh, they told us in parentheses. Yes.
name. Part 3.
Part 3.
Speaking of
Oh,
multiple
no.
parts,
Oh, my God.
so Escape from New York.
The
I think we
80s
should
will
just
not
do-
leave you.
No.
I think we should just do a reboot
Oh,
section.
we're
of the
out
show.
of good films, so let's start making the turds.
So the Escape from New York remake writer would love to have Kurt Russell's son play Snake. So I think that's
Escape from New York was an entertaining film for its time. Escape from L.A. was bad.
Yes.
So very bad. And now we're doing a third one.
But look at Mad Max,
Oh, that was brilliant.
right?
Yeah. And
Because
but
it kind of got a little bit. It started. It had its moments. It was
Yeah.
okay for what it was. Then it got worse. Then they came back with this new version,
was
which was
awesome.
awesome. Yeah.
And they kept saying there's going to be 3, and now they're like, maybe just 1.
Yeah, maybe we can't really do better, actually, now that we thought about
Yeah.
it. So, enjoy what you had. Thanks.
We're done. We're out. We're going to make the Escape from New York reboot instead.
We're going to try to do the same thing for that franchise. And probably not.
maybe it's just me. I don't think Kurt Russell's son looks anything like him.
No.
So I don't.
No.
And doesn't really look like Goldie Hawn either. I don't know where
Is Goldie Hawn his mother?
Yes.
All right. I don't know.
I had to verify that.
Okay.
Because I know there's.
Well, they're a little
the
soft
Hudson
as a
kids
couple.
are Goldie's
They're-
children, Kate and the sister. But
Well, makeup can do wonders. You know what I mean? He'll look just like him when they're said and done.
all right.
We'll CGI, some facial hair. Boom. We got him.
Patch.
Is that a real eye patch? No, it's all CGI eye patch. We thought we could get one for like $1.50 and have him, or we could spend millions making it CGI at all times.
Oh, you know what I did watch in the last couple weeks? Watch The Witcher on Netflix.
And how was it?
Liked it.
I hear it's slow to start. It gets good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hear like episode 4, it all starts to come together and gets really good.
Yeah. Yeah. My wife liked it. That I know. I'm like, she suggested watching it.
Well,
Good stuff.
I'd watch it.
she has good taste.
She does. Well, except for the married me part, you know.
We didn't
I
even,
had good taste
We didn't
there.
even get to break down the Razzies again. We're almost out of
Son
time.
of a-
I know, but we got a huge weekend. This weekend coming up, we got the Call of the Wild, which looks awful.
That's with Harrison Ford,
Harrison
right?
Ford.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's a yeah,
It's London film, the book,
Yeah.
right? Jack London. Okay.
and it's
I mean, I thought Sonic was going to
Yeah.
tank, and it made
Well,
$7
that's
million in 4 days. So, like, what do I know anymore?
No, we're the worst. And anything else
and
coming out?
and Brahms the Boy 2 is coming out.
What?
So
It says 2 in the title, so I'm assuming there was one before this that I never heard
It's
of.
the boy with the little doll, and you know
No, I don't.
the doll
Nope.
may or may not
Nope.
do some evil things. You know, it's the typical
Brahms, The Boy 2.
Brahms the Boy 2.
It's the first time I've heard it.
It's
Ever.
The punctuation's going to make a difference in that one.
it's a
Also, the spelling of 2.
perhaps people will think it's classical music or something. They'll see Brahms and they'll get
There's the
very
rabid classical
confused.
music fandom going.
Yes.
So I don't
This
know.
was not.
All the people that saw the red violin have been waiting. Now.
So is Sonic the Hedgehog going to be able to hold off the Call of the Wild?
I will
would
say
hope
no,
so.
the Call of the Wild is going to make crazy money.
We're going to have to check. What do you think?
I think this show's over.
It's over. That's all the time we have for on this edition of Inside Media Weekly. Thanks for joining us.
That was a spectacular train wreck.